Everyone out there has advice. Religious figures tell you to forgive, counselors tell you to get more sunshine and write gratitude lists, and doctors give such radical advice like you should diet and exercise more often. All the while we watch an ad from a fast food company showing us how happy another burger and large fries will make me. Which is a lie, obviously. Everyone knows you need a milkshake to feel happy. Right? Is that just me? Some people think they know everything, but how do you sort out all the winners from the losers?
Ooh, somebody's a sore loser.
Hi, I'm Coach John. I'm here to show you my foolproof system for how to know if someone's advice is even worth taking. From your friends telling you to invest in crypto, to that gym bro telling you to take protein powder. You'll know if it's worth your time and effort, and you'll easily save yourself months of your time and hard-earned cash. Just watch to the end of the video for the full breakdown so you don't get scammed in the future. Before we start, I need to ask you a question. Where were you in 2014? I know, it's a bit random, but trust me, it's important for avoiding these future scams. Back in 2014, back when Russia hosted the Olympics and before Vladimir watched way too much Pinky in the Brain.
The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
And when we all poured ice water over each other to fight ALS. I was in college, and I had finally joined the growing hype train that was Game of Thrones. Hey, stop that. We're not even monetized yet, but stop that. In the midst of my college studies, I took a short break to start Game of Thrones.
3 weeks later.
Again, 2 late papers and 3 skipped lectures. I had completely caught up on the first 3 seasons of Game of Thrones, just so I could join all you other losers that had to wait every week for another episode. So like everyone else cool at the time, I was obsessed with this show. I just knew it was gonna be one of the best shows of all time.
What the was that? Okay?
And me and my bros had planned our dire wolf tattoos. That fell through, thankfully. And we placed bets on who was gonna die next. My money was always on Sansa. I thought she was going down, but hey, I guess wrong. Should have put that $100 in Bitcoin instead. Not investing advice, by the way. Just hindsight. But there was one line from the show that I couldn't get out of my head. It just kept replaying over and over and over.
A crown for a king.
No, not that one, although that was a cool scene. Ooh, not that one either. That one hadn't come out yet. This is the one I'm talking about.
When you hear them whispering Kingslayer behind your back, doesn't it bother you?
Of course it bothers me.
A lion doesn't concern himself with the opinions of the sheep.
It's the most Lannister thing you could say. I mean, well, other than the other thing they say.
Lannister always pays his debts.
I mean, it's just so pompous and arrogant, right? The Lannisters saw themselves as better than everyone, and if you weren't a lion, Lannister, you were a sheep in their eyes. They didn't care about you and your opinions were worthless. Yet, from a certain point of view, I couldn't help but feel like...
From a certain point of view.
Maybe he's right. It wasn't actually until several years later when another piece of advice mixed with this Lannister phrase that it gave me the understanding about how to prevent scams. So I was in a self-improvement meeting. Someone asked for some advice about how to run their business, and there was no one there that was a business expert by any means. And that's when one of the older guys there dropped this nugget. I don't have the experience needed to help you, but what I do recommend is that you go find someone that has what you want and ask them how they did it. I mean, this revelation blew my mind. It made total sense. Ask someone that has what you want. If you want to be fit, ask someone that's fit. You want to be a good public speaker? Get mentoring from someone that's a good public speaker. Not your friend that made an A in speech class just because he showed up.
Bueller?
Or didn't. I like to think of the Lannister phrase like this. A lion is someone that knows a lot about a specific subject and has actually accomplished things in that field. And a sheep is someone that doesn't have knowledge in that field and hasn't accomplished anything of note in that field. Here is a really simple example that I see all the time. When it comes to my family, my mom is a lion at sewing and knitting. She's made all sorts of awesome things, and if I ever needed advice about that, I'm going to her first. But my mom always comes to me for computer advice because I've built 2 computers, edited my own YouTube channel, and I've worked in IT for several years. I've got the knowledge and more accomplishments in the IT field than her. We're both lions and both sheep in different areas of life. Now, here's the thing about sheep. If you've ever been around them in real life, you know they can be quite loud. Well, same thing in real life. Some sheep love to share advice about things that they don't know anything about. And I find that normally the louder and the more rambling someone does, the more likely it is they're sheep about that topic. For example, I had an uncle that promised he knew how to get rich, and he would tell us about his new ventures on a new farm he was going to have, or an online currency, or his Bigfoot finder. Yes, really, that's the kind of guy he was. But he never made that much money, and my uncle didn't have anything that I wanted. He didn't have a stable job, an online career, or $1 in his savings account. I never listened to him. You see, people can only reliably tell you about their experience. Let's take YouTube for instance. I can't tell you what it's like to be Mr. Beast or Peter McKinnon, 2 people that I see as lions here on this platform. But I've seen their videos, and I've even seen their interviews where people ask them what they should do to have a good channel and how to grow. But I've seen their videos. I know some of what they might advise if you were to ever start your own channel, but I'm not them. So if I gave their advice, even if it was amazing advice, it wouldn't be as helpful as if it had come from them, because it would all be secondhand lions. Advice. Secondhand advice. Well, if that terrible pun hasn't scared you away, then I don't know what will. So you might as well click that little button down there with the bell next to it, so you don't miss any more of this comedy gold that I'm mining up. Now, this also extends to people that have been through the same journey as you. Do you want to be free of alcohol or addiction? And look for people who have been in chains and are now free. Do you want to start a business? Get advice from successful business owners and not your business teacher that has never started a business in their life. Now, don't get me wrong, a blind squirrel finds a nut every now and then, and occasionally sheep give good advice. If you really want a more reliable resource in your life, look for a lion. So let's bring this home and tie a bow on it. In order to avoid scams and bad advice in life, aim to find people that have what you want. And as you learn and grow and become a lion yourself, stop concerning yourself with the opinions of sheep or people that don't have the work and knowledge that you have. You can still be kind to them and loving, but don't take their advice. They don't know. Trust yourself and look for like-minded individuals. Find your lion's pride, even if they're a little strange.
How do you know this?
That's what I do. I drink and I know things.
What about you? What advice do you have for avoiding scams and bad advice? Drop your wisdom down in the comments below. This is Coach John, and I'll see you next time. Remember, take care of yourself. You deserve it. Let's bring this home and tie a bow on it. In order to avoid scams and bad advice in life,